Read-to-log files are created already. So if the files are available, so sometime we need to drop the files as well. Sometime we need to drop the groups as well. So dropping files means dropping the groups, dropping the members from the group. So file means kind of a member within the group. So dropping read-to-log files and groups means cases what to do. So what are the possible cases that we can manage? Dropping read-to-log groups and dropping read-to-log members or files. In some cases, you may want to drop an entire group of read-to-log members. For example, you want to reduce the number of groups in an instance read-to-log. So sometimes in the database, unnecessary groups are available, or during the stress time or during the loss of activities of the database, we normally create various groups, and then that particular groups we are urgently required at that time. But later on, when our database or activities are become normal or activities are not too much, then at a particular time we can decide that whether we need to drop the group or we need to drop some kind of files as well within the group as a member. So in different cases, you may want to drop one or more specific read-to-log members. For example, if a disk failure occurs, you may need to drop all the read-to-log files on the failed disk so that the database does not try to write to the inaccessible files. So means that if the file is corrupt or something, or maybe there are 3 files are given, 2 files are filled, okay, but as soon as the switch will come up on the third file, the third file is not basically accessing it, or it may be corrupted or something. So in that particular case, we need to drop that file if in case we don't need that. In other situations, particular read-to-log files become unnecessary. For example, a file might be stored in an appropriate location. So sometimes that particular location is no longer be available, or maybe some more data is added in that location, so we may need to remove that particular file. Dropping read-to-log groups. To drop read-to-log groups, again we will use alter database command by sys user with the system privilege. Before dropping read-to-log files, again we should have restrictions and precautions. An instance requires at least 2 groups of the read-to-log files. So in general case, whenever we make a group always consists of 2 members or 2 files. And the reason is that whatever the activities we are performing on SQL, those activities are starts saving their all activity or executions log starts saving from the first file. When the first file is filled up, the second file start filling up, and when the second file filled up, the first file again start filling. It depends on the archival and non-archival mode that we will discuss in the future. So basically idea is that one group consists of at least minimum 2 members or 2 read-to-log files. You can drop read-to-log files only if it is inactive. So active file is not is unable to drop. If you must drop the current group, then first force a log switch to occur. So log switch is basically important in the sense that whenever we perform such activities, and in the incoming lectures we will just see that how log switch is performed, what exactly command we will perform for the log switch. Dropping read-to-log groups, make sure a read-to-log group is archived if archiving is enabled before dropping it. So this means archive means that there is separate storage available, that data come up from these read-to-log files into a separate archival files. So those files should be available so that when you drop these one, the data is available in your separate archive files. We will discuss this issue in the archival and non-archival mode later on in more details, but in this particular case we can say drop the files in this particular case means that the read-to-log group should be in the archive mode. To see whether this has happened, so how to analyze with the help of metadata. So v.log view is our dynamic data dictionary view through which we can see the active and activities. So what we will do, So we can see its columns. So group, we select columns, group number, archive status from $log. So let's suppose we have group number 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first group is yes active. The other one is no current, means that not available right now. Yes inactive means that it has been already done and the group for this particular files are already filled up. Drop redo log group with the SQL statement alter database with the drop log file class. So in that particular case, we say drop redo log group with the SQL statement with the drop log file, and the following statement redo log group number 3. So we can say alter database log as drop log file group 3. So we can write down in this way: after dropping a redo log group, ensure that the drop completed successfully, and you must see this message successfully done, and then use the appropriate operating system command to delete the file as well. So removing the file means that it does not give you any kind of confusion later on, because normally DBA performing these tasks or maybe analyzing these tasks after 1 month or after few days, and again it forgets whether that particular file has been dropped with the command, but it is available physically on the hard disk in a particular folder. So dropping redo log members means consider the following restrictions. It is permissible to drop redo log file so that multiplexed redo log becomes temporarily asymmetric. For example, if you use duplex groups of redo log files, you can drop one member of one group even though all other groups have at least have 2 members each. So in that particular case, if you have a common files in a group or something, so in the form of duplex, we can manage in this particular style. So however, you should rectify this situation immediately so that groups have at least 2 members, and thereby eliminate the single point of failure possible for the redo. So in that particular single time of failure will be an issue or something, so we can manage this one with the help of this particular task. So an instance always require at least 2 valid groups of redo log files regardless of number of members in the group. A group comprises 1 or more members. If the member you want to drop is the last valid member of the group, you can not drop the members until other members need to be valid. To see redo force log switch log means that how we can use $log file view. So you can drop redo log members only if it is not part of active or current group. So means drop member of an active group, first force a log switch to occur. So this means we need to manage alter database log switch command so that we can manage the activation of the log switch. Make sure the group to switch the redo log files is archived. So in the archival mode, it will be only possible. Again, we can see the $log view to see what exactly happened. So in that particular case, we can say that dropping redo log members means that specific inactive redo log members use the following. So for example, this log 3c.rdo is inactive at this particular time, so we are able to make its SQL statement to drop it. So alter database log, we can say drop log file member, and then give the path to that particular file, and you can run this command and it will be dropped.